Greetings. Welcome to the Charles & Colvard Webcast. It is now my pleasure to introduce your host, Susan McLucci, President and CEO. Thank you. You may begin.
Thanks so much. Good morning, everyone. Suzanne McLucci here with Charles & Colvard. I am thrilled to be with you today to give you an overview of the company. I'm going to begin on slide 2 just to let you know that I may be sharing some forward-looking statements with you today. We encourage you to consider these statements in conjunction with our current 10-K and other SEC filings, which are available on our website at ir.charlesandcolvard.com. I'll take a quick look at slide 3 here and talk about our agenda. I will give you a brief overview of the company and the market opportunity that is ahead of us. I'm going to talk to you about our product, which is called Moissanite. It is a created gemstone. I'm going to walk you through the product evolution, as well as some of our customer demographics. We'll then talk about the channel strategy by which we bring it to market and our international reach. And then I'll hand it over to our Chief Financial Officer, Clint Peet, who will walk you through a financial snapshot. And then what we'll do is we'll come back to center here at the end and answer any questions that you might have. With that, I'm going to move on to slide 4. Charles & Colvard has been around for nearly 25 years now. It'll be our anniversary next month. We were established in 1995, and we are publicly traded on NASDAQ with the ticker symbol CTHR. We're out of Raleigh, North Carolina, the greater Research Triangle area. And what we do for a living here is we create a lab-grown gemstone called moissanite. It is an ethically sourced gem. We place it in ethically sourced metal to create a completely ethically generated product. And today, being Earth Day, we're very excited that we actually align with Mother Earth here today with this revolutionary product that we bring forward at an amazing price. And we will talk price with you and kind of give you the breakdown there. So the value is pretty incredible. It is a consumer-facing brand. We also do have a wholesale division to ourselves. We bring bridal, fine, and fashion jewelry forward. And the market opportunity is fairly large. Global online fashion jewelry is $45 billion. The global online fine jewelry market is as large as $30 billion, for a total available market of $75 billion, which is substantial. What's meaningful to us today in the lab-grown gemstone world is that up to 11% of brides are choosing gemstones other than diamonds. That is exactly the space that we fit into. As we move to slide 6, we can talk a little bit about what makes this product so incredibly brilliant. In that pink line along the top is moissanite, our lab-grown gemstone. It has better optical properties than any other gem that is out there in the market, including diamond, ruby, sapphire, and emerald. First, we talk about brilliance, which is basically the sparkle of your gemstone. This gem has more brilliance than any of its counterparts in the market. In addition, it has more fire, meaning the color pops that will come off of your gemstone. And then the only place where we are second to any other gemstone is in hardness. We are the second hardest mineral on Earth, behind only diamond. So we have actually a physical property that is so incredibly hard and so incredibly brilliant, we guarantee this product for its entire lifetime. Let's take a look at slide number 7, and we'll talk about where the rubber hits the road for many of our millennial consumers, and that is the affordable aspect of this product. What we're comparing here is a moissanite gemstone versus a diamond. There are 2 kinds of diamonds in the market today. One is lab created and the other is mined. In the case of a 2-carat gemstone that is internally flawless, so these are gems that have no inclusion, gems that have no body color, which basically means the very top DEF quality color scale. A 2-carat moissanite stone would cost roughly $1,500 from Charles & Colvard. A comparable lab-grown diamond, again, flawless, $21,000. A comparable mined stone, which would be essentially almost impossible to find because generally mined diamonds do have inclusions and imperfections to them. But should you find one as pure as a moissanite gemstone from Charles & Colvard, that would be in the $44,000 range. So what we have here is an incredibly affordable opportunity for a very, very new consumer. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the various types of jewelry that we put that gemstone into, and then I'm going to bring this customer forward and talk about who she is. We have evolved this product over the years that we've been in business. As I mentioned, we've been around for nearly 25 years. And in that time period, we were, for the first several years, up to just 5 years ago, primarily a gemstone company. And what that meant is that we created the gem, sold the gem into distribution channels where those distributors would either resell the loose gem into the gemstone industry or put the gemstone into jewelry that they would produce, and then they would bring it to market. So we were not very vertically oriented. We really changed the method here of the company just a few years back and became much more a direct-to-consumer brand. In doing so, what we've done is we've begun to be a jewelry provider. It's very hard to bring simply a gemstone forward and have a brand that is relatable to the consumer. But we can absolutely have a brand that is relatable if, in fact, we have finished jewelry that we bring to market. As we see here on slide 8, this is a rounding out of what it is we bring to market. Starting in the upper left, let's go back to slide 8. In the upper left, we have our bridal set. This is where we match the gemstone with the matching bridal ring. We have fashion jewelry that is very lightweight pieces. They may start as low as $400 or $500. And then we have our signature collection, which is very unique to Charles & Colvard and is a patented product. This actually incorporates our logo or floret that you can see at the top of the slide here. It's actually embedded in that jewelry product. And then fine jewelry, which would be your left hand rings, your tennis bracelets, those jewelry items that you would gift over a lifetime. So our intent here is to bring in this consumer potentially on the fashion side of the world. Bridal is very much what we sell. It's roughly half of our business. And then, of course, we want you around for a lifetime. We've spent the money to bring you in as a consumer. We want to engage you as a lifetime customer. And that means that we need to have jewelry that would be applicable to you for the rest of your life, and that's what our fine jewelry line does. So who is this customer we're engaging? We're going to go on to slide 9. In slide 9, we talk about the demographics of the Charles & Colvard customer. These statistics that I'm showing you here on this slide come directly out of our e-commerce platform. And it outlines for you the age ranges and the age groups of the customers we serve. And you'll see here the second very large column here is our millennial consumer. We start with our Gen Z. She's in her 20s and going into her mid-20s. Our millennials are mid-20s into 30s and out into the young 40s. And then we have our Gen Z beyond that. And you'll see there's a fairly long tail that goes out through our Gen Zs and our boomers. Our primary consumer here is the millennial. And the reasoning is several. Number one, she is a digital native. She shops online. She does her research online. She looks for brands online. She trusts brands that have an online presence. And Charles & Colvard has very much built that online presence in order to engage our consumer. Number two, she shops for value. So what she is looking for is a very good price for a very high quality good. And she's discerning. She knows how to find it. She's smart. She does comparison shopping. She's all over the internet looking for the best possible deal. And when she compares this moissanite product to anything else in the market, including mined or lab-grown diamond, she finds value in moissanite. And third is our social responsibility. This millennial consumer is very worried about finding and aligning with brands that are ethically oriented. She wants to confirm that she is buying a good that does not mine the earth, that does not employ untoward practices. She's very concerned about the origins of the goods that she purchases. Charles & Colvard happens to be exactly in that space. So let's talk about how we engage her and how we go to market, and that begins on slide number 10. What we see here is our marketing funnel. This funnel talks a little bit about how we engage and create awareness with this consumer. The person that doesn't necessarily know Charles & Colvard, we talk about that as top of funnel marketing work to create awareness. And then what we do is we engage that consumer as she's beginning to consider jewelry. We understand what kinds of jewelry to put in front of her because we're beginning to learn about her particular taste and style. And then we move her into a decision, and then she becomes an advocate for life. We're very much an e-commerce and digitally oriented marketing organization. So you'll find that we have a striation through the entire marketing funnel where we have techniques and digital media outlets where we're engaging her along her pathway and her journey to moissanite. We do this on a global scale, and I'm going to go to slide number 11 here. This is our omni-channel strategy, and what we do is we find her in any place that she may be on a global scale. At the top of this graphic is our own website, charlescolvard.com, where we serve not only a U.S. customer, but a global customer. We have a cross-border trade function that allows anyone from around the world to come in, and we can engage them in their currency, and we can ship to them globally. But in addition, these folks are, as I mentioned, they're on search engines, they're on marketplaces, they're all over the internet searching for goods and the best possible price. We need to be everywhere that she is when she's making these decisions and doing her homework. And so we have created that omni-channel presence on places like YouTube and Google, on e-commerce sites like Helzberg.com, Macy's.com, and ShopHQ, formerly eBuy. But you'll also find there's an element of our business along the bottom of this graphic that are very traditional. We still serve the distributors in the greater jewelry industry, such as Dollar and Rio. And we're sure that we're there because they serve all of the independent jewelers that are out there in the industry. On the right-hand side, you'll also find that we're in marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart, and eBay, but we're also in select stores. There are certainly some consumers that feel the need to touch and feel and see this product directly. We want to make sure that we're there for her wherever she is, so you'll find us in places like all Helzberg Diamond stores. We do so globally, and we've gone to a global footprint just in this past year or so. On slide number 12, you'll see a snapshot of what our footprint looks like on a global scale. The green areas are our marketplaces and our distributors, as well as retailers. There are some places, especially around Greater Europe, where we've begun setting a footprint by way of marketplaces. Marketplaces like Amazon are a great way for us to test a market with a very low overhead footprint. We're able to see what that market reacts to from a jewelry standpoint, and then we can begin to curate a very regionally specific group of products in order to reach that customer. And we've done so by allowing Amazon or eBay to be those marketplaces that actually bring those eyeballs to us. And that's what those pink regions are around Greater Europe. We're just beginning to scratch the surface of the opportunity there. So what does this opportunity look like from a product standpoint? I have Clint Pete with us today. He's our Chief Financial Officer. Clint's going to walk you through a snapshot of our financials. Clint? Clint, I think you might be on mute.
Yeah, temporarily lost his line. 1 moment, please.
Okay. Well, while he's dialing back in, let's go to slide 13. We'll just start here with a brief financial snapshot. As I mentioned, Charles & Colvard has really gone through a transformation in the last few years, and that is to our online channels segment. Online channels is a brand new element of the business. We launched it in October of 2016. Prior to October of 2016, we were very much a traditional business, meaning that we were selling to brick and mortar stores and we were selling through distributors. Today, online channels is our highest growing segment in fiscal quarter 2, which is basically our holiday quarter, October, November, December. We grew 12% from enhanced jewelry assortments and our in-stock rate. Online channels in that quarter represented 57% of total sales. So, and it also fueled very strong margins. We saw margins in this quarter of 48%. These are some of our highest rates in the company's history. This has to do with the fact that we're taking out those middlemen from our transactions with the consumer. So the more we can bring people online, especially to our own .com site, the more we can take out the dollars that are generally paid to distributors and brick and mortar partners for the privilege of using their channel to sell. So this is what brings us these great margins, and that's why we're so excited about our online business. So Clint, are you back on the line? Would you like to address the remainder of these slides?
Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. Apologize that I dropped off. So the one thing that I just wanted to mention here as we go to slide which represents our results for the 6 months ended December 31st, 2019. Well, the one thing, if you look at this on the right, you can see our increase in our finished jewelry of 33%. And this is a result of our direct-to-consumer initiatives, producing great results on our charlesandcolvard.com website, as well as marketplaces, our dropship retailers, as well as our brick and mortar. You can see the loose jewels declined by 11%, which is basically a result of our decline in our international distributors. As far as our traditional segment at the bottom right chart, you can see here we had a solid performance from our brick and mortar channels, but basically it was offset by softness in our international distributors' sales. If you go on to slide 15, I just want to go a summary of our balance sheet position. You see here that we have a strong balance sheet with $13 million in cash as of June 30th and $13.3 million as of 12/31. We have, you can see here our shares outstanding, which are fully diluted shares. And you can see also that right now our book value is $1.65, $1.65, which you can tell that we are definitely trading below book value today. With that, I'll pass it on to Suzanne to take over on slide 16.
Okay, thank you, Clint. So we'll go to our investment summary here, and I hope that you've heard this along the way. We have a very large opportunity here in the $75 billion range, again, with 11% of brides moving to gemstones other than diamonds. We have a very big opportunity here for moissanite gemstones. We are ethically sourced, which really aligns us with this millennial audience, which is becoming the largest spending power in the world's history. So we're very squarely aligned with the ethics and the principles of that group, with the specific ethically oriented gemstone and metals that we bring to market. Building this direct-to-consumer pathway of our own website, marketplaces, dropship, really brings us that strong consumer touch with very, very nice margins that we can bring to our shareholders. Quick slide 17 view here. Talks about the team. You've met me now today and Clint Pete. I'm surrounded by folks that understand the jewelry industry, which is great because I do not come from the jewelry industry. I'm a technologist by nature. So I come from the e-commerce space. I've helped thousands of brands and retailers use e-commerce to go online and sell their wares. That is my previous experience at a company called Channel Advisor. I was also with SAP. So I've got technology as my underpinning. But in order to make sure that we're doing all the right things on the jewelry side of the world, I surround myself with folks like Don O'Connell, who actually came from Richline Group, one of the largest purveyors of jewelry in the industry, Tom Bergen, who was with Zale Corporation. All of the folks here on the management team are oriented toward bringing forward this direct-to-consumer brand. With that, I'm going to go to slide 18, share with you our vision and our mission here. We believe luxury can be both beautiful and conscientious, and we're very excited to be bringing this brand forward, especially in the market that we're in. You know, Charles & Colvard tends to do well in a downturn economy. We're a very economical product that speaks to maybe the tight budget that someone might be on. People still get married and engaged in challenging times, and we are here for them with a brand that aligns with their ethical principles. With that, we have a few minutes for questions, and there have been a few coming in. One that I think is at the top of everyone's mind, so I will address how coronavirus is impacting our business. What have you done and what will you be doing in response to the impacts on your business? Let's walk it through a little bit here. Charles & Colvard has been impacted by the coronavirus, both at our North Carolina facility and across our global sales channels and supply chain. Let me talk about the impact first, and then I'll talk about some of the measures that we're taking to manage it. So first, the state of North Carolina has issued a stay-at-home order. It only allows essential employees to work at our facility. So this has significantly limited the level of production and the shipping that we're able to do from our North Carolina headquarters, which is also our operations facility. So second, Our global supply chain has experienced varying levels of disruption as the virus is spreading worldwide. We have a worldwide supply chain, and so it has had varying impacts along the way. While we can leverage certain suppliers from regions that are less impacted or some that are coming back online, it is a slow process there, and we'll talk about that. And then lastly, as we would expect, consumers have been focused on procuring their essentials, right? Things like medicine and food during this essential time. So while our website traffic is still going and sales volumes are there, they are not at the level that we were previously. So they have been impacted by the virus. So we've been implementing 3 key things that keep our employees safe while managing operating and financial impacts related to the pandemic. Our effort here is to ensure that we reserve cash while positioning the business to quickly respond as the market rebounds. So here are the actions that we've taken, and I'll start with staff. 2 weeks ago, we temporarily furloughed roughly half of our employees. While furloughs impacted nearly every business function, the most significant impacts were to manufacturing and fulfillment, which are materially impacted other than essential employees. So during this time, the company is funding all healthcare insurance premiums for our eligible employees that are out on furlough. For those that remain with us, we've deployed a work-from-home policy to keep people safe, and for those people, of course, that are able to accomplish their work remotely. Those people that are retained have been experiencing a temporarily reduced salary, starting with myself at a 25% reduction. We've taken board cuts at 50%, and then we've taken cuts throughout the remainder of the organization. Let's talk a little bit about product sales. At this time, we do continue to process online orders on the company's e-commerce website. We're pleased that we have adopted this e-commerce model. It's made us a bit resilient through this time. But we do have limited shipping and limited fulfillment capabilities from North Carolina. So what we've done concurrently is we're working with some of our third-party partners to enable alternate distribution options where we're capable of doing so. And then our third action is to reduce costs, basically across the board. We've reduced expenses with the intention to lessen our cash burn to the extent possible while still maintaining the dollars needed to support the brand and the demand levels right now. For example, we're temporarily reducing our digital ad spend in a fairly significant way, and we've eliminated industry events and travel, for example. While these actions are extensive, they're prudent, and it helps to position the company for a bright future as the economy and the regulatory environment improve. I do encourage you to tune into our upcoming Q3 fiscal 2020 earnings for additional details on our performance. I think I might have time for one more question in our Q&A. We did have someone say, when is your next capital raise? At this point, we did a capital raise last summer around the June-July timeframe, 2019. As you'll note, we have $13 million in the bank. We are proactively pursuing the government subsidized programs that are out there. We have taken advantage of the Paycheck Protection Program. We have some applications in for other loans. We believe that we have sufficient cash here with these additional subsidies from the government to see our way out of the other side of this crisis. So we don't believe that there is a necessity for an immediate capital raise. Thank you for your question. We do appreciate it. I believe we may be out of time here, but I'm going to try to sneak in one more. As a direct-to-consumer facing brand, we're focusing intently here on market trends. So the question really is about how are you going to get attention, and what is it you're doing in order to come out the other side? We very much watch market trends, and so we're paying very close attention to traffic. We're paying very close attention to what the consumer is looking to buy. We want to make sure that we are well positioned to be meeting her specific demands at the time that she has them come forward. So in closing, we want to ensure our shareholders, especially that are on the line, we're very focused on our consumer today. We're very sensitive to the time that we're in. We've taken prudent measures to make sure we're coming out the other side. We've got the cash in the bank to really make sure that we are there to do so on that other side of it. And we're well positioned with our consumer listening intently to what it is she needs. With that, I will conclude. Thank you so much for tuning in to hear about Charles & Colvard today. Good day.
This concludes today's webcast. You may disconnect at this time, and thank you for your participation.